Hello, my friends. Boomy here once again with another video for you, my swtor brothers and sisters. How's everyone doing today in a galaxy far, far, far? Oh, dear Lord. Away. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button for all your swtor fun news, sometimes guides and updates right here, right now. The only place for you to stop for Star Wars The Old Republic news. So hit that subscribe button, baby. And it was my friend 7.6 Galactic Threads has landed. And it has landed with a big kerplunk. My God. Yes, I have not seen the community this riled up since, well, a long time. So what am I talking about? So we had art customization that came in. We had a lot of the good basic planets that we have known to love, like Korriban and Tython, have been updated. Their art, and I thought it was really good. It did a really good job at updating the environments around there, and I really like it. I enjoy it. But the biggest thing, the cardinal linchpin that connects us and immerses us in a game is our character. And they updated, boy did they update our character models and with shaders and other things, of course, yeah, like they talk about, but they updated your character models, they did, and the community did not like it. I think my favorite thing I've read so far is saying, so universal reviling of this update from the player base. Reviling, you get extra points for saying that in a sentence. Listen, first off, I went online, as you're going to see right here. I did it before and after. Last night, I went on and captured what my toon used to look like pre 7.6, and then I went on just now to see what she looks like in 7.6 proper. And I'll have to say, I'll admit it, I don't mind it. I really don't mind the change on my character. Now, when it comes to different aliens and stuff like that, yes, it looks atrocious. It looks horrible. Please, for the love of everything unholy, revert it back. But for my my now 45-year-old wine mom, hey, I'm okay with that. Everyone's got a kink. I'm not that mad about it. It isn't. But I have talked to some people in my comment section or in the creator cantina. If you're not part of that, go into information below. You become part of that in the Discord. And some people are not happy. Some are saying it's unplayable. It's crazy. But Eric Muskell did come out on the forums about an hour or so ago to try to tamper down the flames a bit that are going on. So we're going to read what he has to say there. Now, some of it does come off a bit like, well, guys, this is what we're doing, and if you don't understand, then poo-poo on you. Yes, it does somewhat come off like that, but they also, listen, at the end of the day, This is an update that should never have happened. We'll get into it. I'm jumping ahead of myself right now. Let's get into what Eric Muskell had to say. Eric Muskell comes on forums very bravely and says, "Hello, folks. If you haven't done so, definitely read my previous post, please, as it will highlight a bit of the history of modernization." Now, we're going to skip that because there's some stuff you just need to skip because he's just reiterating stuff as well. He continues, before I get into that, here is the TLDR. 7.6 was a huge step forward for us and the culmination of an art and tech effort to modernize our characters for the first time since our game's inception, which is amazing. But that huge step is also only our first. We aren't done. And there are many in the community who are going, please be done. But at the same time, I get it. This is a giant step forward for Star Wars The Old Republic to really get things cracking on this game, for it to have future legs and breadth. So I get that. And unfortunately, sometimes you just have to deal with the giant pain that is change. And sometimes change you can smoothly go into change and come out of it a roaring phoenix. And sometimes, as we're seeing right now, you're tumbling down the hill straight into a fire pit of change, and it's not going as smoothly as I think they tried to warn us it wasn't. And yeah, it's just, well, let's continue. First up, thank you for your feedback. We knew coming into character modernization that we wanted to take extra care regarding changes we made to your character's appearances. It's one of the reasons why, to reiterate our goal from my original post, we wanted to make sure that you maintained your identity as a character after modernization. But that didn't mean there would be no change in appearance, as that is necessary to the modernization process. So it was important for us to try and match up both our own artistic goals and the feedback we were receiving from the PTS. Even though a lot of people are like, you didn't listen to a damn thing we said. He continues, in my last post I talked about, now we went over this like I said, but he says, let me define two different terms for you really quick that I'm going to use in this post. Artistic changes, which refers to any time he refers to this, he is talking about some kind of change being made by hand by an artist on our team. Imagine someone holding a paintbrush, painting some details on your character's skin or hair, etc. Pretty much that's self-explanatory. Everyone knows what that means. Programmatic changes, he says, referring to, this means something that is happening automatically and across everything all at once, like a filter. He says, example, I programmatically make every human skin tone one shade lighter. I think we get that, guys. We okay? We good? We're good on the terms because that's what he asked. Guys, we good on the terms? He says, early on, you will all very likely be familiar with our most common piece of feedback. That a lot of texture work that we did, which was artistic, went too hard. Now, that was caused by a shader bug, programmatic, which was addressed. But even after we fixed that bug, we still were seeing a lot of that sentiment. The places we saw this most was for things like wrinkles around the face, which from what I'm seeing everywhere are still a major issue. So given how universally the feedback we were seeing was around the hardness within our textures, artistic, I'm really trying not to say autistic, we decided that the best course to address that feedback was going to be programmatically. Since even though that would be a more universal change, there would still be levers we could pull within it. Let me give you a specific example to what I've seen play out in 7.6 to showcase this. We were able to tone down the definition of wrinkles, hardness within textures. But since this is programmatic, it means that our texture definition, like your sweet abs, also lost some definition. As we went through PTS, we were able to tweak multiple of these variables up and down to try to land at a place that we felt met our goals while still being as reactionary as possible to your feedback. Again, another example. What you see now in 7.6 is that those same abs are not 100% as defined as they were pre-7.6, but it allowed us to similarly tone down some of the hardness seen in the textures elsewhere, such as face wrinkles. So in other words, you time-lapse. You went into the future, you weren't working out as much, you're a lot older, so you got some wrinkles and you're losing some definition. It is what it is. I will be dreadfully honest on this one. When I saw these changes, I was there thinking, oh dear God, please don't go the route of AAA games these days. You know, like, I don't know, Veilguard, which failed miserably, and Outlaws, which it's okay. But yeah, sometimes in some of the modern games that are coming out these days, you go like, what kind of person is that? And I believe we touched on that in my last video. But that was my fear. I'm like, oh no, please just leave the game alone. Let us be able to play a game just to play it. Give what the players actually want and not what you believe is the best thing in the world. Okay, rant over. As we continue to plan beyond 7.6, we have a few different primary initiatives that we want to tackle. Replace overall programmatic softening with a more targeted artist-controlled softening of facial features while keeping definition in other areas. Super important context, this does not mean you should expect to see a dramatic change in how your character appears from today or a rollback, but it would give our artists more control over individual changes impacted by modernization such as ear, nose, and muscle, knees, and toes. And now we're going to go into talking about the chiss. He says, so a couple of notes here. This would be helped by the first change around moving away from programmatic softening. Also, fun fact, chiss, as an example, technically use human textures, so this isn't like adding a new species. This is more about having a bit more artistic control over how existing textures interact with non-human skin tones. The neckline seam. Or as I like to call it, man, your tan line sucks. I talked about this in my last post, but we obviously are aware of the investigating this too. They're going to try to fix it. It's been around since day one. He concludes, this isn't a comprehensive list, but those are our high nails that we are talking through and prioritizing right now. Again, as I TLDR'd above, we know these changes to your character feel and are personal to you, and so we take them very seriously. 7.6 has a set baseline that we we are so excited about. And so continue on this journey with us. Keep giving us feedback. I will do my best to make sure you stay informed on exactly what we are planning, what we are changing or not, and why, whenever possible. Thank you, Eric Musco. So there you have it, my friends. Listen, like I said the other day in the video, change is going to happen. Whenever you're trying to update an older game, this game being 10 plus years old, you're going to want to update it to meet somewhat of a more modern audience. And I get that. And I think that's fine. I think a game should be able to do that. I like the fact, actually, that they are thinking ahead and laying the groundwork to update things in the game, whether it be art customization or modernization, character modernization, environment modernization, all that jazz, armor, and all that stuff. I like the idea that they're doing that and they're just laying the groundwork. Unfortunately, I think what happened is they went in with the change for 7.6 and it just, well, kind of blew up in their face a little bit. Instead of little subtle changes here and there, people just turned on, and I think we're expecting, you know, oh, this is great. They listened to us on the PTS. And then when they turned it on, they're like, oh, dear God, what the f did you do to my character? Why? Leave my character alone. I think sometimes we need to get a little grace to the developers, but at the same time, I think, you know, posts like this kind of come off a little tone deaf to what the player base is wanting and what they've been saying. This is where I think transparency would come in great, and more communication would be perfect on this one. And this is where they can meet us at the table, and we can kind of find a good balance in between. What are they really trying to do with this game? Why are they really implementing all these things right now? Yes, we know they have a grand plan for the future of this game. We know they want to do all these cool things. We don't know what they are, but they're laying the groundwork for them. It would not behoove the team too much to be a bit more transparent on what their plans are, so there can be a bit more understanding within the community on why these drastic changes are taking place, especially to a character when they are literally your immersive pawn in the chessboard that is this game. When you don't feel connected to your character anymore, you don't feel connected to the game anymore. And that's a big problem. If a player does not feel a relationship with their character, doesn't feel that connection anymore, they leave. They leave the game. And I really kind of think like, well, listen, will the majority of people leave? No. Will there be some people that do leave? Yes. I believe there probably will be some people who leave. But is this something that the devs should have really thought about? Yeah, I really believe they do. Did they really think about that? Who knows? They're not transparent with this community with what they're thinking. So we only get bits and pieces of where their thoughts are. We don't get almost like a full smorgasbord of, you know, their ideas really. And I really think that's what's missing in this game and in this community and it has been for years, my God, is the dev team actually communicating openly with its community about what it wants to do with this game, why it's really doing what it's doing. Communication has stalled. It has. And it comes from leadership, and it comes from the community manager. And I think a lot of these things need to change, and change quickly, because if we continue to get updates like this with half-ish, hearted-ish explanations of what's going on, or just, you know, tidbits here and there, your player base is just going to walk away. That's just what's going to happen. And I hope they don't. I love this game. I want to see a good future for this game, but you start seeing stuff like this, and you just kind of start scratching your head. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I didn't mind the change to my character. I honestly kind of liked it, but I understand where people are coming from. If they had just put a freaking toggle in to go back to what it was, versus like World of Warcraft has that, and I know other games do as well, then I don't think this would have been so much of an issue. You would allow the player to make that decision whether or not they want their character to look more modern versus, you know, back in the vanilla days. I think that would have been a great compromise, and I think they still can do it. I just hope they do. I know it takes a lot of work. I'm not a dev. I get it. I get a lot of this stuff takes a lot of time. They don't have a lot of people over there. I 100% get that, so I don't need to see that in my comment section. I get it, 100%. Anyways, my friends, let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on all this. What do you think about your characters? Were you like, dear God, this breaks all immersion, I can't play anymore? Or were you like, oh, it was okay, not bad. I can see what they're saying. Let me know what you have to say. We'll keep the conversation going on down there. Make sure you hit that like button, the bell notification button, and share this video, my friends. And of course, like I said, comment. All those things help the channel out quite a bit. Helps the reach get out there even further. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and become part of the family here at Boomy Nation, a freak show YouTube, the black sheep of gaming. And as always, my friends, remember to be kind. It's about community. And don't forget to adjust your shaders on your Wookiee. We'll see you later, my friends. Good day.